Welcome back to the Deep Frame Podcast, the place for the unvarnished truth about the second term of President Donald J. Trump. In past episodes, we've covered the broad strokes of this historic presidency. In this special extended episode, we are going deeper than ever before. We will pull back the curtain on four crucial fronts in the ongoing fight for the very soul of America: our schools, our constitutional rights, our public square, and our heartland. We begin in the classroom, the front line in the war for our children's minds. For decades, the radical left has used public schools to push a self loathing, anti American agenda. President Trump, with Education Secretary Linda McMahon, has declared that this indoctrination will end. The administration is leading an aggressive nationwide push for school choice, empowering parents with an unprecedented $500 million investment in charter schools and championing the Education Freedom Tax Credit to give families control over their children's education. This is about more than just funding. It's a fundamental return of power to parents. At the same time, the administration is dismantling the toxic DEI agenda on college campuses and has even launched a task force to eradicate anti Christian bias. In place of division, President Trump is instituting patriotic education, prioritizing federal grants for programs that teach our children to love America and defend its traditions. This isn't just a policy change, it's a cultural restoration. From the classroom, we move to a cornerstone of our freedom, the Second Amendment. President Trump has proven himself to be the most pro gun president in American history, and his second term is a full scale rollback of every attack on our rights from the Biden years. We've already celebrated the historic victory of stopping the VA from stripping veterans for their gun rights. But the fight goes deeper. The administration is treating the Second Amendment as a core civil right, equal to any other, and it is taking on the most corrupt and weaponized anti gun bureaucracy in the country. The ATF, the Trump administration has pushed to slash thousands of positions from the ATF, particularly the inspectors who exist only to harass law abiding gun dealers. President Trump's allies in Congress, like Lauren Boebert and Eric Burlison, have even introduced legislation to abolish the ATF entirely, showing that we are on the offensive to protect our God given rights from a tyrannical deep state. The next front in this war is the modern public square, big tech. For years, a small group of Silicon Valley billionaires has acted as a censorship cartel, silencing conservative voices and interfering in our democracy. President Trump is breaking their monopoly on speech. One of his first actions was signing the Restoring Freedom of Speech and Ending Federal Censorship executive order, which explicitly forbids government agencies from colluding with tech companies to censor Americans. But the president is using every lever of power in a brilliant strategic move. The administration is using immigration policy to put pressure on these companies, restricting H-1B visas for the very content moderators who enforce these biased censorship policies. At the same time, Vice President J.D. Vance is taking the fight globally, warning our European allies against adopting the disastrous online safety laws that are nothing more than a Trojan horse for state-sponsored censorship. The message is clear. The era of conservative voices being silenced is over. Finally, we go to the heartland. A nation that cannot feed itself is not a nation at all. After our farmers were decimated by Biden's economic mismanagement and a bad globalist trade deals, President Trump is putting them first. The USDA under Secretary Brooke Rollins is providing direct, tangible relief, including a $150 million assistance package for our sugar farmers and a $263 million purchase of American dairy and other products to support our producers and feed those in need. The administration is also cutting the red tape that strangles our agricultural community. In a huge win for farmers, the EPA has clarified its right to repair rules, freeing farmers to fix their own equipment without being beholden to big corporations. A move that could cut operating costs by 10%. The president knows that food security is national security, and he is ensuring America's farmers have the support they need to continue feeding the world. Our children's education, our constitutional rights, our freedom of speech, and the farmers who feed our nation, these are the front lines in the fight for America's soul. On every front, President Trump is not just fighting, he is winning. He is proving every day that this is not just a presidency, but a movement to restore the core principles of this great nation. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Frame Podcast.